Hi everyone, and in this video we're going to talk about goal setting. And whenever we talk about goal setting from an individual perspective, some of you may have heard of SMART goals, where SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. But there's another acronym that's used in human resources management, referred to as SCAT. SCAT is an acronym for specific and measurable, challenging, acceptable, and time specific. So we tend to gravitate to this SCAT acronym when we talk about human resources management, because it is more applicable to a group as opposed to an individual with the SMART goals. Okay, so to begin with specific and measurable, we always want to be better. We always want to sell more. We always want to strive for continuous improvement. Right. So from a workforce perspective, we want to be specific based on that individual department. So if we're in customer service, we want to be specific and measurable, where we're able to resolve a X number of issues, of calls on an hourly basis or on a daily basis, right? If we're in sales, we want to be able to close a specific number of deals, right? And when I work with organizations, I said, okay, what is the goal? Okay, we want to close 50 deals in a month. Okay, where did that number 50 come from? Did it come out of thin air? Right. So you need to be specific in that you have looked at previous history. You have looked at the quantitative numbers. You have to look at the numbers, right, to see what the previous track record was for that specific measurement. Right. Now, if you're a startup, you're able to look at other organizations. You're able to create a baseline for your workforce, because going back to those SMART goals, they also have to be realistic, right? Those specific measurable goals have to be specific, okay, and realistic. So they need to be realistic. They need to be clearly drawn out, so the workforce knows exactly what they are working toward. They cannot be vague. They cannot be abstract. They have to be very specific. They have to be clear. Okay. Going on to the C for challenging. If we set these goals to be challenging, there you can also refer to these as stretch goals. Although your workforce may not be able to achieve that goal, as they are working toward that goal, they may potentially exceed expectations. Okay, so that's why you want to put a goal out. You want to shoot for the moon, if you will, and then you'll land among the stars, as the saying goes. Right. So you want to make those goals challenging, and you want to essentially create stretch goals for your organization. Now, in some organizations, they will create goals that are challenging, and they will set the compensation plans, bonuses based on that goal, knowing that the workforce will not achieve that goal. But that's one of the ways where you can lose employees. Okay. Now, you make these goals challenging, but you are transparent, and you say, we're making these challenging, we're making these stretch goals, right? Because we want you to work toward that goal, but your bonus structure is going to be based on this, right? Now you will be evaluated based on how close you got to that stretch goal, right? But that is not the determining factor of your bonus if you're using a bonus, type compensation plan. Okay. Next, we're going to go to acceptable. So although these goals are challenging, you have to get buy-in for those participants. You have to get buy-in from your workforce. Okay, that's one thing that's very important. And once again, if you are transparent in identifying that these goals are indeed stretch goals, because we want you to work toward these goals, right? So you can land among the stars, you are going to be able to receive buy-in from your workforce. Now, one thing that's very important in a lot of these things that we're discussing is that the most important thing is to explain the why. So among your workforce, you need to explain, why are we doing these stretch goals? Why are we doing this SCAT, in this goal setting? If you explain that, if you explain how that's going to benefit your employees, every single employee, you're going to receive, get and achieve buy-in from your workforce. So finally, these goals, these SCAT goals, need to be time specific. Okay. Now again, I want to close 50 deals. Okay, am I going to close 50 deals in a day, in a month, in a year? So you have to be time specific in those goals whenever you're setting those goals. Okay, so once again, and this SCAT acronym stands for specific and measurable. You want those goals for those employees to be very specific, so they are clear and understood by those employees. They need to be measurable so that those objectives can be measured, so you can see how each and every employee is working toward those goals. These goals need to be challenging. We want to identify stretch goals so that employees can essentially overachieve. Okay. And then we also want them to be acceptable. And in order for these goals to be acceptable, you have to explain the why to your workforce so you can get buy-in. And then they need to be time specific. So once you identify these goals, these clear, specific goals, the employees know, okay, what time frame are these goals set against? Okay. So moving along. Next, we're going to talk about HR planning. So this video we're going to end right here.